Florida bracing for dangerous wind and possibly life-threatening storm surge.
You run from the water and you hide from the wind. If you're there in that storm surge, you're putting your life in jeopardy.
Hurricane Idalia is barreling toward the Sunshine State, putting millions on alert and leading to mandatory evacuations on parts of the coast. We are tracking the storm. Plus,
every woman deserves to have good care. Every woman deserves to have personal care. And every woman deserves to have her baby in a safe place.
getting maternal care is difficult enough. Now it's only getting harder. In our prime focus tonight, we take a look at the ripple effect the closing of maternity wards across the country is having on expectant mothers and how others are filling that void. And
so you understand when I say that I can't do an interview, which means I can't answer any questions.
Rare video showing veteran U.S. Marine Paul Whelan in a Russian prison, at one point refusing to answer questions from Russia's state-controlled news agency. Whelan's family telling us whether they believe that video is an authentic portrayal of his detainment. Good evening. I'm Phil Lipoff in for Lindsay Davis tonight. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We are following those stories and much more, including the PhD student accused of murdering a professor at UNC Chapel Hill appears in court. What investigators are saying about a possible motive there. Plus, a drought is creating a traffic jam at one of the world's largest trading routes. We are at the Panama Canal with more on what it could mean for your future deliveries. And a shocking medical discovery, a worm found living inside a woman's brain. How doctors found it. We are covering those stories and much more for you tonight. But we are going to begin with Hurricane Idalia as it barrels toward the Gulf Coast of Florida. The storm is strengthening, expected to make landfall in the early morning hours north of Tampa in what's called the Big Bend of Florida, likely as a major Cat 3 storm with 115-mile-per-hour winds over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Evacuations have been ordered for low-lying areas along the Gulf Coast, with the greatest risk to life and property posed by what National Weather Service is calling potentially catastrophic storm surge. Idalia has already brought strong wind and driving rain to Key West on the southern tip of Florida. And beyond the Sunshine State, there are states of emergency in Georgia and the Carolinas as well for the days ahead. We have team coverage tonight on the Gulf Coast with ABC's meteorologists Ginger Z and Rob Marciano. And we begin tonight with Rob in Tampa as the city faces potentially catastrophic flooding threat.
Tonight, the outer bands from Hurricane Idalia now impacting Florida. Rough surf in the Keys, flooded roads in Fort Myers Beach. The community so hard hit by Hurricane Ian less than a year ago. The storm battering Cuba overnight with high winds, rough surf, and flooding rain. FEMA urging families to heed the evacuation orders and get out while there's still time.
If you are in a storm surge warning area, it could mean just traveling 10 or 20 miles to get out of the most significant impact areas.
In Tampa, they're racing to shore up critical infrastructure.
For the second year in a row, they've erected this aqua fence around Tampa General Hospital to hold back any storm surge and to protect the patients inside.
Tampa's mayor watching Idalia's every move.
As the rain moves in and the winds pick up tonight, as you go to bed, what are you most concerned about?
I'm most concerned about those individuals that haven't heeded the warnings and haven't taken it as seriously as they should.
Our Ginger Z, southwest of here on Treasure Island.
These barrier islands have a major erosion problem on the daily. Add a full moon, plus 4 to 7 feet of storm surge, and with water on both sides, we're concerned about these islands tomorrow.
Some areas are bracing for up to 15 feet of surge. Our Maria Villarreal in Levy County.
Here in Cedar Key, the businesses are boarded up. The sandbags are out. Here, they will have an absolute evacuation order in place. Gas will be off. Lights will be off later on this evening. Residents say they are worried they won't have anything to come back to.
Elite urban search and rescue teams and firefighters from Miami heading north into the storm zone.
Rob joins me now from Tampa. Rob, let's get right to the track and the timing of Idalia's path. What can we expect in the coming hours and then in the coming days?
Hey, Phil, well, we expect more strengthening and likely more accelerating of the storm. We've got now about 170 miles now from Tampa Bay, by the southwest, and moving northward at 16 miles an hour. There you see the satellite picture. It's developing a bit of an eye. You see it more clearly here on the radar, and those bands of rain have been coming in through and raking the west coast of Florida all afternoon and evening long, but it'll be kind of on and off in this area, and that's also pushing up that storm surge as it moves off toward the north. So here's the track. The forecast is maybe shifted drifting a little bit to the west now, really heading into that Big Bend area. We think it'll be a Cat 3 storm as it heads into the area late tonight, early tomorrow morning, and then eventually dissipating. But it's so fast moving, it's going to carry some of those destructive winds well inland. So places like Valdosta and Savannah and Charleston will feel it going into Thursday and then eventually going out to sea. But this is now a high speed and very high impact storm, Phil.
All right, Rob Marciano, thank you from Tampa tonight. Now let's bring in Ginger Z on Treasure Island, which is in the Tampa Bay area. Ginger, we heard you there in Rob's report with those concerns facing the barrier islands. Just how dangerous could this storm surge be for low-lying parts of Florida where this storm hits?
Well, that's the thing. I've told so many stories, Phil, right here on Treasure Island about their erosion problem just with a regular, big tide. We've got a full moon. We've got different parts of the tide coming in. And right behind me, you can see that darkening sky. That's the outer band. It's still about 130 to 150 miles away from us, the center of Idalia. But very shallow beaches here with not much protection. Even the building, if I just turn you a little bit more to see that is behind us, doesn't have a berm, doesn't have a dune, and now our poor security guard just taking on some water on his boots. Thank you for doing that. Because we're seeing the water push even just here close to low tide, and we will through tomorrow morning as that onshore flow begins. So we do want to talk about surge, not just here in the 4 to 6 feet category, but Crystal River, 6 to 9. Cedar Key, Steinhatchee, going to see 10 to 15 feet. That's the unsurvivable type of surge. Number one loss of life and property is storm surge, that big wall or push of water that comes with the dirty side or the right side of the storm. You also have 110-mile-per-hour winds possibly taking out power for that whole area you see in hot pink there. Taking down trees from Tallahassee really to Cedar Key. We've got Gainesville in it, even close to Valdosta. So keep an eye on all of the winds up through North Carolina, where we'll also see those bands kicking off tornadoes. Already have today. So several tornadoes possible anywhere highlighted there in orange. I also want to note a lot of places like Bradenton in extreme drought. They need rain, but you don't need 6 to 12 inches to fall really quickly. And unfortunately, that is exactly what happens here. When you do that in Charleston or Savannah, you're pushing the rain on top of the water trying to come in with the surge, and that clogs things up and causes more flooding as well.
Ginger, we have seen you track Idalia rapidly intensify in the past day or so. How much of that is driven not only by climate change, but the warmer weather, in some cases hot tub-like ocean temperatures, as you've described it this summer around Florida?
Right? No, we've been down here telling those stories about how warm it was, and we were concerned because it acts like super fuel, like giving a toddler a bunch of sugar. It is going to power it up as far as hot temps go, and it's running into 86 to 90 degree waters, so plenty warm and well above what is needed to sustain a hurricane. I think when we talk about climate change, we need to remember that this year there are many variables. El Nino, we've got fewer aerosols that help to heat things up. We had that big volcanic explosion that left a lot of moisture in the atmosphere, and that changed how the temperatures have worked. But on top of all of it, human emissions have impacted the temperature of our oceans. Right now, about 2 to 5 degrees above average, and we have amplified what is natural.
All right, Chief Meteorologist Ginger Z, thanks so much for that, and stay safe down there. For more on how Florida is preparing and the message to those living in Idalia's path, we are joined by Florida Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie. Mr. Guthrie, thanks so much for taking the time. We know you are busy tonight and in the days ahead. We have heard Idalia appears headed for Florida's Big Bend, which is an area that has actually never seen a direct hit. What message are you sending tonight to folks living in that area?
Well, Phil, thanks for having me on. What we're sending out, the message we're sending out right now through local emergency managers is you still have just a couple of hours. If you are in an evacuation zone and you've been asked to evacuate, you need to evacuate, and you need to do that now. Move to the car, take what you have, get out of harm's way. This is going to be life-threatening storm surge. Earlier today, I was told by the National Weather Service and National Hurricane Center and one of the local emergency managers that the storm surge in Cedar Key is going to be higher than what we had with Hurricane Ian at 12 feet. We're looking at potentially 15 feet in Cedar Key, Steinhatchee. Those are areas that are very, very vulnerable to storm surge. And those individuals, if you are in one of those locations, you need to leave right now. Up towards the northern Big Bend area, which is up here in Tallahassee, we're looking at Category 2 sustained winds right here at our EOC. So again, if you're in the Tallahassee area, over into the Big Bend, If you need power, you need to evacuate now. Go to some place that is going to be guaranteeing you power, such as a shelter, maybe a hotel, or a friend and family member's house, and you need to execute on that right now.
You've been spreading that message, your governor, local state officials as well. From what you've seen, the information you have so far, are folks heeding those warnings?
Yes, I talked to the emergency manager in Cedar Key. He told me that people are listening, they are moving, they are evacuating. There's going to be some that just don't do that. And we need to make sure that those individuals understand if they still have power and they're watching this show right now, they need to understand that we're not going to be able to come in and rescue them until after the storm passes. We are at 40-mile-an-hour winds right now in most of those areas, and we just cannot get out there with public safety personnel and rescue them. You're going to be there for about the next 24 hours until we can get to you.
And to the south, it looks like Tampa will once again be spared a direct hit, but still could see serious storm surge. What is your biggest concern for that area?
Yeah, I know Mayor Jane Castor very well. What she said was absolutely right at the top of your show. People that are, they need to leave. They need to get out of that harm's way as well. 4 to 7 feet of storm surge right there, downtown West Shore in that area is going to be problematic. We still believe we're going to see some significant storm surge, even more than what we had for Hurricane Ian inside that Tampa Bay area. It is going to impact homes. There will be power out. Right now, they're probably in a situation where they just have to shelter in place. If they're able to get out of harm's way, they should try to do so. But again, if you're going to put yourself in greater harm's way, you don't need to drive. You're just going to shelter in place. Get to a central location of your home. Stay away from the windows.
Just for a minute, let's talk about after landfall. The storm is expected to cross the northern part of the state. Again, this is an area that isn't as storm hardened as others. So you might have folks experiencing this for the first time or not thinking much of it. What are you telling them?
Well, about 200,000 people live in manufactured housing in this Big Bend impacted or soon to be impacted area. Again, if you're in a manufactured home, you need to get out. When it comes to the recovery, property can be replaced. We will work through that. We will, FEMA is already here in the state. FEMA's got 2 of their national incident management teams here in the state already, one staged in Central Florida, one here at the state EOC. We're going to work together with the Chief Financial Officer's office on insurance. We're going to work together with FEMA for those that may not have insurance or may be underinsured. We're going to work with the Department of Economic Opportunity. We're going to work with the Small Business Administration. All of those forces are going to come to bear right here in the state of Florida in the coming days to help people out. Please do not be fooled by scammers. Don't do any type of cash transactions. Don't sign anything. If somebody comes to your door, do not do that. Please don't be taken advantage of after the disaster when we move into recovery mode.
Yeah, that's a good warning. Unfortunately, we see a lot of that after a storm of this nature. Just before we go, sir, I know you're busy. What resources does the state have in place for both response and recovery to what is a sizable storm?
Right. I just mentioned the 2 FEMA teams that are here. We do have FEMA federal teams for urban search and rescue. We have National Guard members from 3 different states. We have our own National Guard here, 5,500 members with 19 aircraft that are standing by ready to go. I have a U.S. Coast Guard Rear Admiral Schofield, who is here at my EOC as well. All of his rotary wing and fixed wing aircraft are available. All of his shallow water hunt boats are available. We have literally hundreds of airboats and flat bottom boats that are staged in the area ready to go as soon as we can start responding, which may be even into overnight tonight, early in the morning for South Florida, and then moving into all day long and into overnight operations tomorrow night. So we have tens of thousands of responders standing by. We have over 30,000 linemen ready to put the power back on. So we were very fast in Hurricane Ian. It is a goal of ours to be able to be even faster moving forward. So those are just a few of the resources that we have, but we are certainly ready for this, and we will certainly be there for our Floridians.
Florida Emergency Management Director Kevin Guthrie. Director, thank you so much for taking the time, and of course, best of luck in the coming days.
Thank you, Phil.
Now the latest on that deadly shooting at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, that led to a campus lockdown for hours and then a manhunt for the shooter. The suspect appeared in court today. ABC's Alex Perez is in Chapel Hill.
Tonight, the PhD student accused of fatally shooting a University of North Carolina Chapel Hill professor in a campus lab in court.
Your Honor, Mr. Chi has been charged in 2 counts. First one being first-degree murder.
34-year-old Tai Chi, a Chinese citizen in the U.S. on a visa, also charged with possession of a weapon on educational property. An interpreter inside the courtroom to translate the proceedings. Authorities say Chi, a graduate student in the Department of Applied Physical Sciences, shot and killed his academic advisor, Zhu Zheyan.
We have determined that the victim and suspect knew each other, and the suspect went directly to the victim and then left Caudle Labs.
Yen, a father of two who worked at the university since 2019. The suspect, a member of Yen's 7-person research group, the two co-authoring at least 2 papers, according to the suspect's LinkedIn profile. The deadly shooting on Monday afternoon, triggering alerts that sent students scrambling to shelter in place, officers clearing buildings, one classroom at a time.
Hey guys, you guys are all fine, okay?
An hour and a half after the shooting, police taking Chi into custody without incident about a mile from the university. They say a gun has not been recovered.
And Alex joins us now from the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill campus, where classes, of course, were canceled today. Alex, what are police saying about a possible motive here?
Well, Phil, authorities at this point say they're still working on pinpointing an exact motive, but we know from sources that one of the things they're looking at closely is the suspect's social media, which included a post about his workload and bullying. The suspect has not yet entered a plea. He's being held without bond and due back in court September 18th. Phil?
Alex Perez from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Alex, thank you. To Colorado now, the dentist accused of killing his wife by lacing her protein shakes with poison is set to enter a plea in court to a first-degree murder charge. Police say James Craig searched online for answers to questions like how to make a murder look like a heart attack. According to court documents, Craig rush-ordered a shipment of potassium cyanide, and investigators say that it wasn't his first poisoning attempt. His wife, Angela, died in March of poisoning from cyanide and another substance found in over-the-counter eye drops. She left behind 6 children. Now to the White House, where President Biden revealed his new plan to lower the cost of 10 prescriptions for senior citizens, including drugs to treat diabetes and cancer. Americans pay more for prescription drugs than any other country, but negotiations with drug makers will be challenging. Here's ABC's senior White House correspondent, Selena Wang.
Tonight, President Biden announcing for the first time ever, Medicare will begin negotiating drug prices with manufacturers, targeting 10 major medications that treat everything from diabetes to blood clots to cancer. The president says it will mean lower healthcare costs for millions of Americans.
Today is the start of a new deal for patients, where Big Pharma doesn't just get a blank check at your expense.
This is the list of drugs at play: Xarelto and Eliquis to prevent strokes and blood clots, Jardiance and Januvia, which treat type 2 diabetes, Farxiga for people with chronic kidney disease, Entresto to stave off heart failure, Enbrel for arthritis, Imbruvica for blood cancers, Stelara for Crohn's disease, and Fiasp and Novolog, both insulin products for diabetics. As many as 9 million seniors take at least one of the drugs on the list, some paying up to $6,500 out of pocket each year. Teddy Brewer, a retired school principal from Las Vegas, relies on the drug Eliquis to treat her irregular heartbeat.
When I go into the pharmacy and say, I'm here to pick up my Eliquis, the pharmacist will always say, you know, this is very expensive. And I said, I know, but it's either that or risk having a heart attack, so I guess I'll just have to pay it.
Americans pay more for prescription drugs than any country in the world. Xarelto, for example, that drug for blood clots, costs 3 times more in the U.S. than it does in Canada. Now, negotiating drug prices directly with manufacturers could save Medicare an estimated $98.5 billion over a decade. The exact amount seniors will save is still unknown, but tonight the White House making it clear they will save.
So how much of those savings will go directly to seniors on Medicare?
We don't know what the negotiated price will be. This is a subject to negotiation, so we can't tell you the specific amount that people will save, but there will be savings to people both paying out of pocket and also to the Medicare program itself.
And Selena joins me now. Selena, when can seniors expect to see some of these savings?
Well, Phil, seniors have to wait about 2.5 years to see these savings kick in. That's because these prices have to first be negotiated with the drug companies, and some of them are already trying to block this program in court. Still, the White House says they're very confident that this will move through and that the list of drugs announced today is just the beginning. Phil?
Selena Wang from the White House tonight. Selena, thank you. House Majority Leader Steve Scalise announced today he has started treatment for cancer. The Louisiana Republican revealed that he was diagnosed with multiple myeloma. He said, "I am incredibly grateful we were able to detect this early and that this cancer is treatable." Congress is currently in recess, but he does expect to return and continue serving as the #2 Republican in the House. Turning now to an historic drought that one of the world's largest trading routes, the Panama Canal. Low-level water causing a global traffic jam that could potentially delay your holiday shopping. Here's ABC's Matt Rivers.
One of the industrial wonders of the world, the Panama Canal, linking two of the world's great oceans. Hundreds of billions of dollars in trade flows between the Atlantic and the Pacific each year, the U.S. by far its largest user. But there's a problem: delays. Here we're high above the Pacific Ocean entrance to the canal, and we see ship after ship just waiting. They want to cross, but as we see up close, they can't.
These massive cargo ships carry everything from consumer electronics to raw materials. But the longer they're stuck out here in the Pacific Ocean, the later they arrive in ports up and down the U.S. coast. Remember all those supply chain issues during the pandemic? They've been getting better, but this is not helping, and it's all because of drought.
When a ship enters the canal, it needs to be raised or lowered a few times as it heads to the other side. The canal sucks water in to lift a ship up and expels it to lower. The process uses about 55 million gallons of water for each ship, all of it from nearby lakes, most of which eventually gets flushed out to sea. And in Panama, one of the world's wettest countries, that's rarely been a problem. Until now.
In your 40-year career, you've never seen anything like this?
No. Not
unprecedented.
No, we've had droughts before, we have extended dry season before, we have El Niño phenomenon before, but not to the extent that we've been seeing this year.
An extended, hotter dry season and a less wet than usual wet season means officials say water levels around here haven't been this low in late August in 109 years. Canal authorities blame an El Niño weather pattern and climate change. We took a boat ride with Captain Manuel Tordesillas to see the canal's fresh water source for ourselves. Here, the tops of old trees poke out of the water, never cut down during original construction.
Normalmente el nivel de agua está donde cambia el color. Donde está blanco. So basically he's saying there that normally the water level is up where you can see the color change to white. That's a solid, es más o menos 2 metros, no? It's 2 meters, essentially, lower than where it would be normally this time of year.
Those levels have forced canal authorities to conserve water, both by lowering the weight limit for crossing ships and by reducing the number of ships that can cross each day. Hence the traffic jam that we saw from above.
The fact is that those ships that just show up and they have to wait, that could have an impact on consumers down the road.
Probably yes, because of somehow the additional cost of waiting will be passed on to the final consumer.
The canal depends on the rainy season to refill its water sources, and so far, the season hasn't been great. And with the next dry season just a few months away, things have to get better and fast.
So we could see this problem continue well into next year.
If it doesn't rain, it will.
Matt joins me now from Panama. Matt, when people hear supply chain issues, understandably, they get very concerned. How likely are we to see something like that here?
Yeah, Phil, as we all know, supply chain issue now a part of the American vernacular. Good news, though, I think, according to officials here anyway, is that I don't think we're going to see those kinds of issues again, those systemic global issues, if only because not every piece of global trade comes through here at the Panama Canal. That said, a lot of global trade comes through here, and so the longer these delays go on, the higher costs are associated with these companies that are shipping all these goods and raw materials, the higher the risk is that that will eventually be passed on to the American consumer. We're not seeing it yet, but that's the risk.
So we know that climate change is here. It's not going away anytime soon. If anything, it gets worse. What is the long-term plan here to avoid anything like this from happening again?
Yeah, I mean, authorities feel they're doing their best. They can only do so much. They can continue with the water conservation efforts. They can continue restricting weight of the ships that go through, restricting the amount of ships that can go through each day. But ultimately, this is a freshwater canal. It needs rainfall to function. If it doesn't have fresh water, it cannot function. And you know, one of these officials here told me what keeps him up at night is the long-term viability of the Panama Canal. If we see drought after drought after drought, that puts the viability of the canal itself at risk. We're certainly nowhere near that yet, but that's the kind of long-term conversations that people here in Panama are having.
Yeah, and it is certainly a daunting thought. Matt Rivers from Panama. Matt, thank you. Still much more to get to here tonight on Prime. A special session for Tennessee lawmakers ends in chaos. We're going to show you what happened just before this wild scene on the State House floor. But next, in our Prime Focus, labor and delivery wards are closing in rural areas, putting women at risk by forcing them to travel long distances just to get to the nearest hospital. The lengths some towns are going to make sure expectant mothers get the care they need.
We teach you how to intubate a baby. We teach you how to deliver a baby.
So this is not something they're supposed to be doing.
They are being forced to do it because of these deserts.
Whenever news breaks.
The crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about, the new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back. Women of childbearing age in maternity care deserts all across the country see no relief ahead as hospitals across the U.S. continue to shutter labor and delivery units. So in tonight's Prime Focus, our Faith Abube visited some of those areas to speak with the people most impacted, including Yakima Nation grounds in Washington State.
We're getting back into our normal lives.
Early on in her pregnancy, Tori Wapsheli made plans to deliver her second child in the same hospital as her first, Astria Toppenish Hospital on the Yakima Indian Reservation in Washington State. But with just 3 months left to go, the hospital suddenly shut down its labor and delivery ward, leaving her scrambling.
I think it was just nerve-wracking.
As the shock spread across the Yakima Indian Reservation, many other pregnant women realized that they too needed new plans, and quick. Sierra Wheeler was more than 7.5 months along. The hospital closure would mean a 45-minute drive to the nearest delivery unit.
Just being so far out here, Toppenish was the place that would have worked easier.
Options for maternal care on the reservation have gone from bad to worse.
It's like really troublesome and disheartening, but not surprising.
The Yakima Indian Reservation spans more than 1 million acres. And pregnant women looking for care are often forced to travel roads that can easily become dangerous depending on the weather.
This area is very rural. It is isolated, so the traveling distance plus the resources that are needed to get quality care are not there.
Jessica Whitehawk founded the Tatawach Birth Justice Center with the help of birth advocates Leslie Swan and Simone Dittenholler.
It's a fresh light.
These women with backgrounds in maternal care are on a mission.
We're providing a safe space, whether it's for 5 minutes to an hour. We invite all of our moms to come back and take a load off.
Let's get baby's heartbeat.
Dr. Anita Showalter schedules clinics at the center every Wednesday to see pre- and postnatal patients.
Every woman deserves to have good care. Every woman deserves to have personal care. And every woman deserves to have her baby in a safe place.
A recent March of Dimes report found that over a third of U.S. counties are maternal care deserts. That's more than 2.2 million women of childbearing age and 146,000 babies born in areas without obstetric providers or hospitals or birth centers offering obstetric care.
Obstetrical units in hospitals have been closing across this country, and obstetricians, we're not increasing them at all across the country. So think about 1 in 8 has no access to a place to be born.
Dr. Elizabeth Chereau says part of the reason is limited funding. And as a result, the maternal care deserts contribute to the high U.S. maternal death rate. A new CDC report shows that in 2021, there was a 40% increase in the death rate from maternal causes in the United States compared to 2020. After a spike during the pandemic, preliminary data suggests that the number of maternal deaths began dropping in 2022, but the numbers were still higher than experts would advise. Mississippi is among the states with the highest number of maternal deaths. That's where Byron Stribling lost his wife and unborn child.
We don't have a hospital. We don't have an emergency room. The nearest hospital was about 15, 20 miles away, give or take.
In the summer of 2021, Byron's wife, Harmony, was 5 days away from delivering their first child together. They'd already picked out her name, Harper. But on the night of July 4th, Harmony wasn't feeling well. Byron, suspecting something was seriously wrong, decided to take her to the hospital.
I thought she was having a seizure. She was shaking, eyes rolling in the back of the head.
Byron pulled over to perform CPR. Paramedics arrived 15 minutes later, but it was too late. Harmony and the unborn child died on the side of the road, about 3 minutes from the hospital.
Now we have multiple people that's dead because of a situation that could have probably been prevented if we had a hospital or something like that nearby.
They don't have any obstetric providers, over 50 counties. That's really, really worrisome. This is a crash course in obstetrics.
Rachel Morris, a maternal fetal medicine specialist at the University of Mississippi Medical Center, and her team have been trying to fill the gap.
Put your hand right here.
Training well over 400 first responders in parts of the state that lack maternal care.
There you go.
On how to step in case of an emergency.
We teach you how to intubate a baby. We teach you how to deliver a baby.
So this is not something they're supposed to be doing.
They're being forced to do it because of these deserts. Push, 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 push. Almost 90% of the mortalities we had over a 2-year period were deemed preventable.
How do you wrap your head around that?
That's why I'm here today. It's frightening. It's frightening. Something's got to change.
Things are changing, but not for the better. Since 2020, an additional 16,000 women have no nearby maternity care in the U.S.
Hospitals are closing. We understand that it disproportionately impacts women of color and older women.
According to the CDC, Black women have a 3 times higher maternal mortality rate than non-Hispanic white women, though all ethnicities did see an increase in 2021. Women over the age of 40 have a 7 times higher mortality rate than women under the age of 25.
Feeling okay today?
Yes, ma'am. At 38 years old, Dominique Armour is considered to be in her advanced maternal age. She's pregnant with her 10th child, putting her in a high-risk category. She tells me this will be her 4th time driving across state lines from Arkansas to Mississippi to give birth because she has few options.
My last baby, I almost had it on the side of the road.
The only hospital in the county hasn't had a delivering physician in more than 5 years, and access to prenatal care is also limited.
This is my last baby that I'm going to have, so I just wish they had a doctor here.
Dominique is currently 8 months pregnant.
When was the last time you were able to see a doctor?
I think when I was 3 months, 4 months. It was hard because I had to go by myself. I don't want to talk about it. I don't.
A lot of women do miss appointments because they don't have transportation.
How many women, pregnant women, come to the center who are in the same situation?
Just about everybody. Do you have somebody to drive you?
Alice Rogers with the Arkansas Birthing Project is exploring options like this March of Dimes mobile clinic to get women in the area access to more care.
This unit is doing what it can to provide services to the women.
It's just not enough.
It's just not enough.
Ohio has had the most women impacted by overall reductions in access to care since 2020.
It's heartbreaking. I think about the United States as some place that should be on the top of the forefront, yet we have the worst outcomes.
Back at the Tatawakcha Birth Justice Center, the founders are working to expand their services, hoping that one day they can build a new birthing facility on the Yakima Nation grounds.
We're trying to rebuild our kinship, our nationhood, our family strength, providing a safe place for our families and women and children to come, to have more options, to be cared for and to heal.
Our thanks to Faith Abube. Still much more to get to here on Prime. Coming up, rare video of former U.S. Marine Paul Whelan in a Russian prison is released by a state-funded propaganda outlet. The first publicly available images of him in more than 3 years. We're going to speak with Paul's brother for the latest. But next, why the side hustle is becoming an important part of many Americans' lives. We're going to take a look by the numbers.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
So many people have followed this story for so long, and this is the first time that Peyton Leitner is talking. Do you remember leaving the park to go to the woods?
This is the most unbelievable story I've ever heard. Who the heck is Slender Man?
The suspects lured the victim into the woods. What did you do
If she saw this, what would you want to say to her?
Ooh. Friday, the David Muir 2-hour 2020 event at 9/8 Central on ABC.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight.
We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about, the new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
It was the ideal marriage. Little did I know I was married to a man who had done something so horrible that it would devastate our lives forever.
Teacher of the Year is now charged with sex crimes.
Only on Hulu.
He was living a double life.
The shocking story behind a #1 true crime podcast.
Prostitutes, escorts. He even cheated on me the week of our wedding.
Betrayal, the perfect husband.
He had a lot of fantasies.
Now streaming only on Hulu.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road road killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey, I'm David Muir. Wherever the story, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. If it seems like everybody has a side hustle on top of their everyday job, that's because many Americans do. So let's take a look at that side hustle economy by the numbers. About 39% of U.S. adults say they have a side hustle, working an extra job to make extra cash. That's according to a new report from Bankrate.com based on a survey conducted by YouGov. And as inflation persists, 28% of those with a side hustle say they believe they'll always need one to make ends meet, according to that report. These side gigs are bringing in cash for many, on average earning about $810 extra per month, and 15% of those with side hustles report earning more than $1,000 extra a month. So what are Americans using that extra cash for? The survey found that 33% of side hustlers, as they're called, spent the money on day-to-day living expenses, and 27% used the money for extra discretionary spending. Ranking next on the list, 25% put that money into their savings, 12% used the money to pay off debt. Side hustles do seem to be a younger person's game. Roughly 53% of those in Gen Z between 18 and 26 say they have a side hustle, and 50% of millennials between 27 and 42 say they do. That compares to 40% of Gen X between the ages of 43 and 58, and just 24% of baby boomers between 59 and 77. There is still much more ahead here on Prime. A water main break in the Times Square subway created a massive travel headache in New York City. And we're going to take you to a special needs playground providing a real-life field of dreams for one New Jersey community. But first, a look at our top trending stories on abcnews.com.
What does it take to be America's #1 news? It takes asking the straightforward, tough questions.
Do you believe that Donald Trump should ever be president again?
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000.
Yeah.
Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
The news-making interviews.
You said that there were 6 friends. One of them was sick.
Yeah.
Do you have future political aspirations?
Going to the front line.
The search for survivors.
How does this war end?
And getting to the heart of the story.
Thank you for being here. We'll be here for the long run.
ABC News, #1 in the morning, the #1 newscast, #1 in daytime talk, Friday nights, Sunday mornings versus the competition, and the #1 streaming news. Thank you for making ABC News America's trusted, straightforward first choice.
First thing in the morning.
There's a lot going on.
Everybody in that home is okay.
To catch you up with what happened overnight. We are here at fashion's biggest night out.
What's happening today? YouTube has unveiled a new set of policies.
What people are talking about. The new ad campaign.
Fast, straightforward.
With some fun in between.
A real-life Barbie dream house.
A name change for the Wienermobile.
First thing in the morning.
America This Morning.
America's #1 early morning news.
On ABC News Live.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers.
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5.
Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Get ready, America, every Friday.
The hottest trends, styles, and must-have. What's the right stuff to buy right now? I really love that. It's time to buy the right stuff.
Yes!
And save big time, too.
The right stuff.
Fridays on GMA. You're going to love it.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Welcome back. A special session for Tennessee lawmakers ends in chaos. A water main break causes a travel nightmare in a major city, and how doctors say a live worm made its way inside of a woman's brain. These stories and more in tonight's rundown.
Tense moments on the floor of the Tennessee House of Representatives. Lawmakers suddenly ended a special session meant to address gun violence in the wake of a recent school shooting after passing only minor changes to legislation. There was an altercation between Democratic Representative Justin Pearson and House Speaker Cameron Sexton as protesters flooded the chamber with chants. Pearson was one of the so-called Tennessee Three and was expelled from the chamber earlier this year after engaging in a pro-gun control protest inside the state's capital. He was later reappointed to his seat.
Times Square's bustling subway station was doused with water after a 127-year-old water main broke this morning, releasing an estimated 1.8 million gallons of water, pouring down stairwells and ventilation grates. Water formed many rivers on the tracks as commuters were routed to other trains. City officials stopped the flow and are investigating the cause of the break.
It's been responsible for about 40% of ransomware attacks around the world, often on banks and schools locked out of their computers for money. Now the FBI says it has gained access to the servers of that tool called Quackbot and imploded the network. Servers inaccessible to criminal gangs who use them in what was called Operation Duck Hunt. The malware is on victim computers around the globe, usually without them knowing. The FBI is now making that code so it can no longer be harmful.
The CDC reports COVID hospitalizations are on the rise in the U.S. New data shows hospitalizations increasing 19%, which remains more than 2 times lower compared to last year. COVID cases are also on the high heading into fall, but the number of people diagnosed with COVID also remains at historic lows. New booster shots are expected to be available by mid-September.
I pulled it out and I thought, gosh, what is that? It's moving. Take it out of my hands.
A shocking discovery, a worm living inside a woman's brain. A woman in Australia came to the hospital with a variety of symptoms. Doctors believed there was a tumor on her brain. During a later biopsy, they extracted a live parasitic worm from the patient's frontal lobe. Experts say the worm is usually found in other mammals, and this is the first time it has been documented living inside a human. Thousands of emperor penguins likely dead as climate change melts away their breeding grounds. Satellite imaging shows sea ice breaking up earlier in the season than expected, creating a dangerous situation for an already endangered species. Scientists say younger penguins who did not develop the slick feathers needed for swimming in freezing temperatures likely drowned or froze after the ice broke up. Emperor penguins need ice to survive, and experts predict a significant decline in population by the end of the century.
Russian state media has released rare footage showing Paul Whelan inside a notorious prison camp, providing really the first publicly available video images of the imprisoned American in more than 3 years. The segment, aired by Russia Today, a state-funded propaganda outlet, appears to show Whelan sewing and also shows security camera footage of Whelan meeting with diplomats through a glass window. Whelan was arrested in 2018 and charged with espionage, allegations that he and the U.S. say are completely fabricated. Joining us now is David Whelan, Paul's brother. David, it's always good to see you. Thanks for joining us on the show. We don't know exactly when this video was taken. It's obviously really hard to tell, but what was your original reaction when you saw the video? And I'm curious, how authentic do you think it is?
Oh, I think it's 100% authentic. We knew that Paul had been coerced into having an interview, and he had declined the opportunity, but the prison officials had kept trying to get him to agree to do it, and he had declined. And so we knew that the RT, the Russia Today camera crew, had come out and tried to interview him, and that he had rejected it. But we'd never seen any footage or anything else come of the story.
It still must have been good to see him. Paul communicates with your parents. Has he said anything to them about his experience with RT TV?
Yeah, he let us know that they had coerced him, and then after they had left, the prison officials were obviously angry that he had not played ball, and so they retaliated against Paul. They damaged a number of his personal possessions. They stole a number of items from his personal property. So we ended up having to contact the Mordovia prosecutor and the prison monitoring commission there to have them go and to look into this case of retaliation.
Do you know if he's seen the video himself?
I don't know yet. It seems to have been developed for an English audience. I wouldn't even call him a journalist. The person on the video is speaking in English, so I think it was probably for a Western audience.
During today's White House briefing, you and Paul were actually brought up. Let's take a listen.
So, U.S. officials have spoken with Paul within the last several months. I think, as you all know that, but it was reassuring to see that he remains, and this is to use his brother's words, unbowed. Paul continues to show tremendous courage. That does not change that his circumstances are truly unacceptable, and we will continue to be very clear about that. Russia should release him immediately, and that is something that, again, we have been very consistent about.
Yeah, and you've been consistent about that as well. So far, the Russians have not responded favorably to the offer from the U.S. that was on the table. Do you think a one-for-one trade is the wisest move here? You support that?
Well, I think that that's what the Russian government is going to want. They don't do things out of parity, I don't think. So I think right now the only circumstance that I can imagine is that the U.S. is able to concede something that is equivalent to a person to the Russian government, and maybe that's a Russian agent, or maybe it is something else. But I think until they're able to come up with that concession, Paul will unfortunately remain in Mordovia.
You know, most American families, as you know this, can't really understand what your family has been going through. When you see footage like this and you know your brother chose not to talk with the Russian propaganda crew who came out to talk with him, and then there's retaliation. I mean, every time something like this happens, it has to be more difficult for you and your family. So how do you deal with a day like today, seeing this video, and how do you remain hopeful?
Well, ironically, I think that the heavy-handedness of this propaganda, I mean, it's just so laughable. The way they put together the story actually makes me feel better about Paul. He seems to look healthy. When he stares down the camera at the end of the video, you can see his strength and I think his contempt for the Russian propagandists. So that makes me feel better, because we hear from him pretty much on a daily basis when he's able to call our parents. But you never know exactly whether someone is telling you how they actually are. And I think seeing him has helped all of us realize that he is resilient, and we need to keep helping him so that he comes home.
Yeah, resilient and brave. David Whelan, thanks so much for always coming on the show. We do appreciate it, and of course, our best to your entire family.
Thanks so much.
A recreation complex in New Jersey is providing an inclusive space for those with special needs and their families. Rhiannon Alley takes us to a real-life field of dreams.
There you go. Look at the puppet.
At this park in Toms River, New Jersey.
It's unbelievable. We're so grateful for this complex.
You have to be pretty special just to get in.
This is a safe space for him.
Yeah. And the key thing is why so many parents love this place. One way in, one way out.
And for the members?
Anyone with any sort of needs. There's all sorts of sports, there's live music, everything is adapted for them.
This truly is a dream come true.
This is a place that magic happens. There's no limits here, there's no boundaries. We have 2 other children as well, and all of our kids get to play together.
An activity oasis. Inspired by Gavin Kane.
Thank you.
Those must be his favorite. Gav, what is your favorite thing to do on the playgrounds?
Swing.
That is right.
Who at only 19 months old was strapped in a car seat in the backseat of his dad's car when a truck slammed into the back of them in 2012. Gavin suffered a traumatic brain injury.
Did you have 5 other kids? How hard was it to go to playgrounds and go to events and things like that, knowing that you would have additional struggles?
Oh, it was very hard, very complicated.
His parents, Mary and Christian, struggled with their new reality.
Gav was, 19 months old when the accident happened. And he's 12 now. Well, guess what? He's going to be 30, 40, 50 one day. And you want to bring him to a place that he'll be able to engage totally with everyone.
In 2017, they set out on a 5-year mission, at first planning only a baseball field. Then they raised $3.6 million, opening this unique complex in spring of 2022, the R.W.J. Barnabas Health Field of Dreams, just a few streets over from the scene of that accident that changed their lives.
Tell us about this.
So you normally see a trampoline high off the ground, so therefore if you're in a wheelchair, guess what? You're out. You don't get to play.
The sprawling facility is for families who need the support.
All right, you ready? You gotta hold on.
We had to make modifications to things like her tricycle at home, but this has just opened up our lives and her life to not have to do those accommodations, those modifications.
Each family must have at least one member who has special needs, but it's designed for all ages and abilities, so their families can play side by side.
You ready? Jump on with him. No, he's fine.
Are you sure?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
God.
Okay, bye.
God, hold on. Friends forever.
It's not just separating those with special needs and those who don't have special needs that may be in the same family. It's bringing them all together.
Right. That's why, even though the complex is private, it does still promote inclusion because every family is going to be a lot like ours, which is you have one kid who's got a special need, but then you got 5 others who are typical.
A playground, a baseball field, basketball court, 9-hole mini golf course, and a quiet corner for those with autism. So far, more than 2,000 families have joined from multiple states, and it's all for free. For Christian, a former Division I baseball player who had so many hopes for his son Gavin, the park is more than just an outlet for activity.
To know that Gavin will never be able to play Division I baseball like his dad, that hurts. But what really hurts the most is when we go places and people stare at him or people look at him. And it's like, he's just like you.
What a beautiful and important project. Our thanks to Rianne and Ali for that. And that's our show for this hour. I'm Phil Lipoff. Stay with ABC News Live for more context and analysis of the day's top stories. Thanks for streaming with us. And coming up in the next hour, we will have the very latest on Hurricane Idalia as it barrels towards Florida. And we're going to speak with the mayor of Tampa about how they are preparing for the storm surge. And what's the secret to living longer? It may have nothing to do with supplements and only exercise. Up next, the award-winning journalist on what you can do right now.
This is ABC News Live Prime.
Thanks so much for streaming with us.
Live reporting, breaking news, exclusives, award-winning, powerful, eye-opening. ABC News Live Prime with Lindsay Davis. Streaming weeknights. From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now. This is where the newsmakers come first in the morning to be heard. America's #1 morning show.
How would your mom feel about your relationship with your brother now?
I can't imagine what it feels like to go from $20 billion to $100,000. Yeah. Are you worried about going to jail?
You write that you had low-grade depression. How'd you get out of that?
Wherever the story, ABC's Good Morning America is right there.
This is ABC News Live.
The crush of families here in Poland.
At refugee centers
In Putin's Russia.
On the ground in Ukraine.
Close to the front line.
From the capital.
Destructive Cat 4 storm.
You're along I-5. Boston is in the bullseye.
Let's go.
ABC News Live, America's #1 streaming news. Anytime, anywhere. Streaming 24/7, straight to you for free.
Thank you for making ABC News Live America's #1 streaming news.
It was the ideal marriage. Little did I know I was married to a man who had done something so horrible that it would devastate our lives forever.
Teacher of the Year is now charged with sex crimes.
Only on Hulu.
He was living a double life.
The shocking story behind a #1 true crime podcast.
Prostitutes, escorts. He even cheated on me the week of our wedding.
Betrayal, the perfect husband.
He had a lot of fantasies.
Now streaming only on Hulu.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you?
How cute.
Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do?
Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Reporting from Manhattan, I'm Diane Macedo. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Good evening. I'm Phil Lipoff, and this is ABC News Live Prime. Thanks so much for streaming with us. We've got a lot of news to get to this evening, but we are going to begin with Hurricane Idalia as it barrels toward the Gulf Coast of Florida. The storm is strengthening, expected to make landfall in the early morning hours north of Tampa in what's called the Big Bend of Florida, likely as a major Category 3 storm. You can see it here from the International Space Station, the system growing stronger, bigger over the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico. Evacuations have been ordered for low-lying areas along the Gulf Coast with the greatest risk to life and property posed by what the National Weather Service is calling potentially catastrophic storm surge. We have team coverage in Florida tonight, and we begin with senior meteorologist Rob Marciano in Tampa as that city faces a major flooding threat.
Tonight, the outer bands from Hurricane Idalia now impacting Florida. Rough surf in the Keys, flooded roads in Fort Myers Beach. The community so hard hit by Hurricane Ian less than a year ago. The storm battering Cuba overnight with high winds, rough surf, and flooding rain. FEMA urging families to heed the evacuation orders and get out while there's still time.
If you are in a storm surge warning area, it could mean just traveling 10 or 20 miles to get out of the most significant impact areas.
In Tampa, they're racing to shore up critical infrastructure.
For the second year in a row, they've erected this aqua fence around Tampa General Hospital to hold back any storm surge and to protect the patients inside.
Tampa's mayor watching Idalia's every move.
As the rain moves in and the winds pick up tonight, as you go to bed, what are you most concerned about?
I'm most concerned about those individuals that haven't heeded the warnings and haven't taken it as seriously as they should.
Our Ginger Z, southwest of here on Treasure Island.
These barrier islands have a major erosion problem on the daily. Add a full moon, plus 4 to 7 feet of storm surge, and with water on both sides, we're concerned about these islands tomorrow.
Some areas are bracing for up to 15 feet of surge. Our Maria Villarreal in Levy County.
Here in Cedar Key, the businesses are boarded up. The sandbags are out here. They will have an absolute evacuation order in place. Gas will be off. Lights will be off later on this evening. Residents say they are worried they won't have anything to come back to.
Elite urban search and rescue teams and firefighters from Miami heading north into the storm zone.
Our thanks to Rob for that. And now let's get back to Maria Villarreal, who is in Gainesville for us right now. Maria, you traveled to nearby Cedar Key and spoke to some folks there who are bracing for the storm. What do they have to tell you?
You know, when we pulled up to Cedar Key, which is about 40 miles or so from where I'm standing right now in Gainesville, it was very clear that people were getting ready for the storm. They know it's inevitable that they will take a very heavy hit from Idalia. So they were basically trying to salvage whatever they could. They were pulling out furniture from inside their homes. They were boarding up their windows, taking out appliances. We actually were able to talk with a longtime business owner, Shannon Keaton, in the area. Her and her husband own a business, a restaurant that is actually on the water. She is very concerned that they will lose everything. In fact, she was telling me she's debating whether or not they even want to evacuate because they are so worried about what will be left behind. So take a listen to what she had to say about what they've been doing today.
I haven't slept probably in 36 hours, and I probably won't sleep for another 36 hours, to be honest. So, it's a lot. But all we can do is prepare for the worst and pray for the best.
Back here in Gainesville, it does seem a little bit quiet and calm for now, but we've had different bands of rain come through as Idalia starts to creep closer to the coast. Right now, they are telling residents, and especially the college students that live in this area, to be prepared for the power to go out, that they need to have at least 3 days of food and water ready to go, and they should also expect some major flooding in this area. Phil?
Maria, you've covered a lot of hurricanes, and time again, we see residents choose to stay despite the danger. I saw that at Katrina and Sandy. In your experience, what are some of the common reasons that people choose to stay?
You know, I think a lot of it is the attachment they have. I mean, that business owner that we spoke with, her and her husband have, been pouring their heart and soul into this business for 7 years. And obviously they've spent a lot of money, but this is something they built on their own. So whether it's a home or a business, you have this concern and this worry, right, of what will be left behind, and you want to protect it, right? So that's part of it. I think on the back end, there's also a big concern when you're in these secluded places like Cedar Key. There is a worry about possible looting. What will happen if the water recedes at some point and people come in that shouldn't be in the area? So obviously law enforcement, guardsmen are here to try and protect these homes, but also to protect the livelihood of the people who are living there. That being said, they are obviously urging people to get out if they can, because who knows when they will be able to get help later on once the storm passes.
Maria Villarreal, thank you from Gainesville, Florida tonight. Now let's get right to ABC meteorologist Greg Dutra for the latest on Idalia's path. Greg, the storm, as we know, as you've been saying, is just hours away from landfall. What are you seeing right now?
Some signs of strengthening, as we have seen all the way through the late afternoon and now into the evening hours. The strengthening of Idalia as it gets over this record warm water across the Gulf of Mexico. You can see over the last couple of hours that eye starting to form there. And of course, we get that random frame in towards the end, but we now have 105 miles per hour for the strength. So just over the course of the last about 3 or so hours since the last update, we've gone up 5 miles per hour for that strength. Now, moving forward as we head into the overnight hours, our biggest concern is that Big Bend area of Florida, where it makes landfall during the wee hours of tomorrow morning, with winds 115 to 120 or so miles per hour. And the issues from this not only stretch all the way up the entire coast of Florida just about, but also farther inland too. Look how far these hurricane warnings go off to the south, all the way down to Bradenton. So spots that saw some damage from Hurricane Ian, of course, last year that mainly went through Fort Myers. They're probably going to get it worse from this one as it makes its way up the coast. You're on the dirty side, the right side of the storm, where you not only have the storm motion to worry about, but also the storm surge here, anywhere from 4 to 6 feet into Tampa Bay. Now up to 10 to 15 feet in Cedar Key. Now, of course, Cedar Key is of big concern, but Again, further inland, this storm is going to have some pretty wide-reaching effects.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit more about inland, if you can, Greg. The storm moving very quickly. So what does that mean for folks inland and even on the East Coast?
Well, it means that it's going to carry that momentum with it. This is a momentous storm. It has a lot of that inertia. So when you're moving that fast, it'll keep some of that momentum further inland than, say, if it just walked on inland, rather, 3 or so miles per hour. This is steamrolling in at about 16 to 20 miles per hour, right as it starts making its way farther and farther north. And you can see the path of the heaviest rainfall that goes all the way up the eastern seaboard through the Carolinas. So flooding is a concern, spin-up tornadoes are a concern, and of course the immediate concerns that this makes its way inland will be 110 miles per hour or perhaps even some higher gust of wind. But that tornadic threat, it goes all the way up into North Carolina. We'll be tracking this for the better part of a couple of days, Phil.
Yeah, we know you will for us. Greg, thanks so much.
No problem.
For the latest now on the preparations in Florida, I'm joined by the mayor of Tampa, Jane Castor. Mayor, thank you so much for taking the time during what is a very critical moment for your city. Right off the bat, just give us the information you're getting right now on the storm's path and what the Tampa area could be facing in the hours and days to come.
Thanks, Phil. I appreciate the opportunity. Yes, the trajectory for us hasn't changed much. We are looking at the possibility of hurricane force wind gusts. And as you know, we're going into a high tide right now, full moon. We've got king tide here. We're going to go through the low tide, back into a high tide tomorrow. And with all of the rain that we're going to get from this hurricane and the storm's surge, we're looking at that 4 to 6 feet. And that's going to be critical for our community in those low-lying coastal areas. We have 126 miles of waterways in our city. And so that's a big concern for us. And that's the message that we're trying to get out to our community, is to stay in touch, just get to higher ground if you're in that zone A evacuation area. You still have some time before the winds really kick up. And then also tomorrow, don't think the coast is clear. When the winds stop and the sun may even come out, that's when we're going to experience that king tide and the majority of those surges.
We heard you a little earlier on in the show tell Rob that you're most concerned about those who didn't heed the warnings. That's always a dangerous thing to do. Give us a sense of how many Tampa residents have responded to the storm's threat, how they're responding, and what should those who choose not to leave be doing right now?
Well, I think that the people that are being interviewed right now that say they're not going to leave, they may have made that decision before. I was talking to our police officers earlier. I was a police officer for 31 years here in Tampa, and they were talking about the calls that they're going to get later from those individuals that decided to stay. And there comes a point, 50 miles an hour and above, where we can't send our first responders out there. So, you know, very concerned about some of those individuals that have never experienced this type of an event and think that they may be able to ride it out. You know, Ian, we were in the crosshairs. I think that was a good lesson for our community. How quickly things can change and how violent these storms can actually be.
Yeah, and what we learned from that storm and so many others is it's not just a direct hit that's the problem. So if Tampa does avoid a direct hit, looks like that's the case right now. What has the city been able to do to prepare for what could be potentially catastrophic storm surge, which can be sometimes more dangerous than a direct hit?
Right, without a doubt. The majority of our injuries come after the storm has passed through. So what we have done, and we do day after day throughout my 35 years of public service, is we continue to prepare for these moments. Whenever a storm hits another area, anywhere in the southeast, we send our resources up there or down there to help those communities out. And we bring those lessons back. I think one of the most important examples I could give you right now is evacuations. We used to tell everyone, you know, get out of town, go as far away as you can. And now the message is hide from the wind, run from the water. So in our area, our residents could go 10, 15, 20 miles upland and be safe from the worst impacts of this particular storm.
And can you talk a little bit about the resources you have there in Tampa to deal with whatever comes with this storm? And you're talking about storm surge. You're talking about some people being there. Once it's passed, or the majority of it is passed, what resources do you have in place to help?
Well, we have all of our city resources. You know, everyone is at work right now. You can see the EOC behind me. I visited earlier our emergency response centers, and those are what we call the push crews, and they're the ones that will clear the paths for our first responders and for the utilities to come through and address any utility outlets, whether it be electricity, gas, those types of things. So we have everybody prepared and on duty for each of those segments of a storm. Before doing the evacuations, our first responders were out there today evacuating individuals from low-lying areas, working in the shelters. We handed out close to 40,000 sandbags to our community. And so preparing beforehand and then leading through the storm, and then tomorrow we will be ready to address whatever damage that we have endured from this hurricane.
Tampa Mayor Jane Castor, thanks so much for taking this time to speak with us tonight, and obviously our best to you and your entire city.
Thanks again, Phil. Appreciate it.
Still much more to get to here coming up tonight. Want to know the secret to living longer? The author of Blue Zones breaks down what you can do now. But next, the panic on the streets of one Pakistani city after a lion escaped from a car, and this was during heavy traffic.
Whenever news breaks,
the crush of families here in Poland.
Here in Kentucky, no match for the tornado.
From Monterey Park, California, on the ground in Ukraine.
Reporting from Uvalde, Texas.
ABC News Live is right there everywhere.
From the scene of that deadly missile strike in Dnipro, Ukraine.
Reporting from the earthquake in Turkey.
From Charleston, South Carolina, on the 2024 campaign trail.
From Kathmandu, Nepal.
Truckee, California, covering record snowfall.
Traveling with the president in Mexico City.
Wherever the story.
Here at this airport in Tampa, it's already shut down.
Reporting from the nurses on the picket line.
Reporting from Jerusalem.
Here at 10 Downing Street in London.
Streaming live to you.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is.
Wherever the story is. We're going to take you there.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live.
You're streaming ABC News Live.
ABC News Live. Streaming free everywhere. America's #1 streaming news.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Reporting from the Capitol, I'm Rachel Scott. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News Live.
Welcome back. We are tracking several headlines around the world at this hour. Drought is causing major delays at one of the industrial wonders of the world, the Panama Canal. An extended, hotter, dry season and a less wet than usual wet season means a drop in water levels not seen in 109 years. Canal authorities blame the El Nino weather pattern and climate change. The low levels have forced canal authorities to conserve water both by lowering the weight limit for crossing ships and by reducing the number of ships that can cross each day, which could lead to supply chain delays yet again. Some wild footage showing the Mexican Navy during a high-speed chase at sea. Authorities were able to seize more than 9.7 million pounds of cocaine as a result of 2 chases. 11 people in all were handed over to the prosecutor's office. An adult lion escaped from a private car during heavy traffic in southern Pakistan, causing panic, as you would imagine, for 2 hours before it was captured. According to police, the lion was being transported by its owner when it escaped on the main road of the bustling port city during peak traffic hours. Living longer. It sounds nice. We've all thought about it, but there are certain places in the world called blue zones where people just live longer without any strict diet, expensive foods, supplements, or a rigorous exercise routine. It probably sounds too good to be true, but it's true. Our next guest has some answers for us in his latest book on blue zones, and he also has a new Netflix series out. Let's take a look at it.
What's the best tea to drink on a daily basis?
Wine.
I like the way you roll. I have found that most of what people think lead to a long, healthy life is misguided or just plain wrong. What if we could reverse engineer longevity? I spent the last 20 years trying to do just that.
Joining us now is New York Times bestselling author, Nat Geo Fellow, award-winning journalist and producer, and that list goes on, but we don't have the time. Dan Buettner is in studio with us. Dan, thank you so much. And, you know, people will start by listening to that and going, oh, he has a silver bullet. He knows how to do this. But this book and your research for 20 years shows that it is not a silver bullet, that it's actually a lot of different things.
Right.
And you found these places. Tell us about them and why you wrote this book.
Well, on assignment for National Geographic, we set out to reverse engineer longevity. So instead of looking for it in a test tube or a petri dish, we worked with demographers to find areas around the world where we know people are making it to 90 and 100 at the highest rates without the diseases that are killing Americans. And then we brought a second wave of scientists to find out the common denominators or the correlates. And no matter where you go in Asia or Latin America, North America, or Europe, essentially the same things are showing up over and over and over again at producing long-lived people.
And what are some of those things?
Well, if you want to know what a 100-year-old ate to live to be 100, you have to know what they were eating their whole lives. So we got dietary surveys over the past 100 years in all 5 blue zones, and we found that overwhelmingly they're eating a whole food, plant-based diet. The 5 foods in every blue zone are whole grains, greens, tubers like sweet potato, nuts, and beans. And if you're eating a cup of beans a day, you're probably not only getting all your protein and most of your fiber, but also it's associated with living an extra 4 years.
Exercise and supplements, because I know from just talking to you before we went on, so fascinating, it's not just about food. So exercise, supplements, $151 billion a year industry. I know you say exercise has something to do with it, but supplements?
Well, actually, I think exercise is an unmitigated public health failure. Only 23% of Americans get the minimum, which is about 15 minutes a day. In blue zones, they're not pumping iron or going to the gym. They simply live in places where every time they go to work, it occasions a walk. They have gardens out back, and they don't use all the mechanical conveniences that have engineered physical activity out of our lives. They keep their metabolisms higher all day long because they're nudged into movement, and that seems to be the big idea.
You spent time in these blue zones. You're spending more time in them coming up. What is it about a place like Sardinia or Okinawa that they're doing something that we here in America are not?
See, that's just it. You know, in America, we tend to pursue health and longevity. We think, okay, I want to live longer, I want to be healthier. I'm going to find this diet, I'm going to find this supplement regimen, I'm going to get on this biohack, and I'm going to get healthier. In blue zones, they don't do any of that. Longevity ensues. They are simply a product of their environment.
This was interesting. I asked you if I wanted to do this, you know, personally, how long would it take for me to get started? You say about a month, but it's beyond what I want to do, right? It's what my community is doing. And when you talk about the community around you, whether it's a blue zone or anywhere that we're living, it's not just exercise. It's not just these choices you make. You say the unconscious choices. It's even about who you hang out with.
Yes. If your 3 best friends are obese and unhealthy, there's about 150% better chance that you'll be overweight yourself. You know, there are areas in Kentucky where the life expectancy is 20 years less than that of, say, Boulder, Colorado. That's not because people in Kentucky aren't good Americans, but they just live in an environment where it's much harder to be healthy and find healthy food and move.
So that you're in the right environment to make the best decisions for you. A place like Singapore You talk about Singapore. What did they do in Singapore to buck the trends and increase average life expectancy?
So I announced Singapore is a new blue zone. It's in the book. And it's a manufactured blue zone. In my lifetime, they've seen life expectancy go up by almost 25 years. They now have the longest, healthiest life expectancy in the world. That's because it's not because people in Singaporeans have better diets. They just live in a place where healthy food is subsidized and junk food is taxed. Driving your car is taxed and walking is subsidized. They're very hard on drugs. And the most interesting thing, if your aging parent lives with you or within about 500 yards, you get a tax break. And that kind of assures that older people are cared for and doesn't rely so heavily on retirement homes, which aren't necessarily healthy.
All right, Dan, thank you so much. The book is The Blue Zone's Secrets for Living Longer, and it's out today. And the Netflix series is streaming starting tomorrow. Dan, thanks so much. Really nice to meet you. And still to come tonight, the international message in a bottle found along the Jersey Shore. That story when we come back.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. 4 students stabbed to death in their beds while 2 roommates were home.
You gotta think to yourself, okay, who's the target and how many people would a man go through to get to his target?
I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
With so much at stake, so much on the line, more Americans turn here than any other newscast. ABC News World News Tonight with David Muir, America's #1 most watched newscast across all of television. From America's #1 news comes the all-new ABC News app. Breaking news, incredible video, faster, smarter, and customizable to your interests. If you love being in the know, you're gonna love this. Experience the all-new ABC News app. Download it now.
All right, here we go. You ready? Let's do it.
Yes, it's the show America wants and America needs right now.
This is What Would You Do? Let's go. How are you? Yes.
So what will you be watching Saturdays on ABC News Live?
What would you do? Hey, I guess I just found out.
The What Would You Do Marathon, 2 to 6 Eastern, every Saturday on ABC News Live.
My favorite show.
Before we go tonight, an international discovery on the Jersey Shore of all places, a message in a bottle. Caroline Goggin from our partner station WPVI has the story in tonight's local lowdown.
It traveled more than 3,000 miles across the Atlantic, finding its way to the Jersey Shore and to the Bulger family.
Greetings from Ireland.
Frank Bulger lives in Belmar, but he travels to Wildwood every weekend with his wife and his granddaughter.
We get to the beach, we set our beach chairs out, put our blanket down, get everything set, and then we go for a walk.
On their walks, the trio usually picks up trash along the beach, trying to do their part to help the environment. Last Wednesday, among the trash, Frank's wife stumbled upon a treasure.
My wife looks down in the seaweed and finds a bottle.
It was tiny, clear, and closed with a cork. Inside was a small note they dug out to read.
Greetings from Ireland. I have thrown this bottle into the sea for someone to find another day. Maybe it traveled down to Africa or Iceland. I won't know if someone found it or not, but I hope it is found.
The note was dated July 17th, 2019. Frank and his family told the Wildwood Sun magazine what they had found, and from there, the story spread.
And with North Wildwood having a huge Irish population, people started sharing it to Ireland.
Now Frank's mission is to find the messenger.
And it was signed Aoife.
In a time when people are so easily connected by technology or social media, this message in a bottle that set sail 4 years ago has created a connection between a stranger from Ireland and this family from New Jersey.
Granted, it's not monetary worth, but the value, it's priceless. It's something we'll never forget.
Our thanks to Caroline Goggin from our partner station WPVI. And that is our show tonight. I'm Phil Lipoff. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. And of course, you can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and abcnews.com.